What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? So we are back again. A mess. Okay. Anyway, we are back again for another episode review of Married to Medicine. This is season 8, episode 10. Ain't no party like a self-love party, because a self-love party don't stop. Woo woo. Let me stop. Okay. But anyway, um so as we get into the episode, we see everybody going about their daily business. Dr. Jackie got a client that one of her patients, she out here doing something, things that y'all be doing. Bitch, some of y'all call off for work when it starts snowing and raining. Trust me, because I've done that before. I ain't put my tea out there, but I don't do it too often, okay? Like when it rains way too much, I'm gonna stay home, okay? But she was like, I said, girl, you gotta make sure the baby okay. You can't be just doing that. You know what I'm saying? And these appointments be hard to get to. You got Dr. Heavenly out there doing Funky Dineva, making an appearance again, getting the rest of his teeth done right before his birthday. You got her son shadowing him. You got everybody doing their respective business with their kids and all this stuff. And then we get to Dr. Contessa. Baby, Dr. Contessa said, listen, I wasn't feeling well. Some told me to go ahead and take a COVID test, and that bitch came back positive. I said, damn. Okay? So everybody that was around her in the last few days have to quarantine for 14 days, okay? And then, they just showing everybody what they're doing at their homes during day 1 through 14 of quarantining the ladies on a Zoom meeting. Toya and Eugene in the bed talking about the lotion that Latoya was putting on, smell like being gay. Stuff like that. Dr. Jackie said that she been making videos on vaginas. Bitch, she had one of the little moles of the vaginas or whatever. Dr. Heavily was like, is that a coochie? I ain't never seen too many coochies in my life, but mine look a little bit more colorful, kind of more flowery and all that stuff. Anyway, moving on from that. So everybody, we see them coming out of quarantine. We saw Dr. Jackie, she was working out. We saw that Miles came back to check on, finally to move back into the house after the parents got through with the quarantining and stuff. But then we get into this thing with Quad and Contessa. I didn't know they was cool like that, but that's cute or whatever. So it's nice to see Quiet on the show, even though it's damn near halfway through the season, we finally seeing a little bit more Quiet. At this point, that little bodysuit that Contessa, now listen, bitch, I ain't never said this shit, but Contessa's stacked. I said that little bodysuit, she look real nice. I was like, you look really, really pretty, girl. Really pretty, But anyway, so they get up in there and, of course, like a little lunch date or whatever, and they're talking about what's been going on, how everybody's been feeling ever since the COVID been happening, and, what's going on between her and Scott. We get into this whole conversation. Baby, first of fucking all, Contessa let us know that the nanny stole the goddamn dog that she had. Now, which nanny was this? Was this Darnell Jones' mama? Not her. She said the nanny went. I think it probably was a nanny afterwards, because she mentioned that she was in school or whatever. But y'all remember when Darnell Jones' mama used to be her nanny at the beginning? That was a time. Mama was not playing with them, okay? But anyway, so they get into what's going on between her and Scott. And, Scott's birthday is about to come up. He about to turn 50 years old. And, she trying to understand what is it about these men turning 50 years old. Like, what's going on? Like, it's like something clicking up in them that just switched. It's like, I got to be out here and doing all this just to see if I still got it or whatever. And then, of course, Quiet started talking about Dr. Greg and how, he was 52, whatever. That's when he started messing up and all that stuff around his 50s and everything. And, they going through the flashback of him talking to the girl, bringing the girl to the hotel room, claiming ain't nothing happened, but we already know that it did. But, trying to see what has changed in Contessa and Scott's relationship. And Contessa said absolutely nothing, because he don't believe in going to therapy. So nothing has moved forward or anything like that. And, she was like, I've been pregnant and popping out babies and all this stuff for the past 10 years, and you have been doing absolutely nothing. Meaning, not necessarily nothing, but I get what she's saying. We're supposed to, like I said, the women's supposed to just be there and take all the stuff while the men go out there and do whatever it is that they want to do. And that's not how it should be. Okay, so they just commiserating over all this stuff. Truth be told, Contessa, you probably had talked to your man, but you really need to sit down and air out all of this stuff instead of just going to everybody and letting them know your differences, okay? Okay, because the main person that need to hear this and how you feeling is Scott, and if he don't understand it, then y'all really got some issues. Y'all, you probably have to put an ultimatum down, and I don't even like putting ultimatums in relationships, but at this particular point, what else can you do if you feel like you're not being heard, you know? It was funny when she was trying to drink that soup and the shield was blocking it. She didn't even realize it. But yeah, talk to your man. Like, and Scott needs to just be open to talk. Like, y'all got, and this is why I'm concerned. Because just like Dr. Jackie, y'all got a business. Y'all about to open up a practice together and y'all got all these issues that are going unresolved. No, no. That is a recipe for disaster. Y'all need to fix that ASAP. So, we got not Quad, but Latoya and Lisa Nicole. You know, she went over to the house and they're talking, and then they get into talking about, you know, what they've been doing in quarantine, and we found out Toya just been doing a whole lot of online shopping and stuff like that. And then, you know, Lisa Nicole brings up the Zoom because Toya wasn't on the Zoom. And that was like trying to get down to the issue between her and Heavenly and then her and Quad or whatever. Uh, which was kind of surprising that Carrie was on the Zoom, okay? Carrie was on the Zoom, and you know, somebody mentioned something about Toya, and then Heavenly was like, what we need Toya on the hill for, something like that. And Carrie was like, maybe you're just jealous. And then Heavenly was like, jealous? Jealous of what? Toya is the brokest bitch out of all of us, you know? And then Lisa Nicole was like, from what she heard, that, you know, Quad kind of stood up for Toya, but in like a shady way, because Toya was like, from what I heard from Manila, that she really wasn't standing up for me. And you know, she was being shady, and if you heard her comments, it was in a shady fashion or whatever about her finances. Oh, we're not hating on her, we're just glad that she finally got her home and she finally this and all this stuff. And, you know, Toya gets into the fact that, you know, she's not understanding exactly what the issue is between her and Quad and how come they're not cool anymore. Like, you know, at one point they did have a close relationship. We remember, and they flash back to when she was having tax problems and Quad came over, you know, with the basket of ramen noodles and, you know, acting like she was a tax agent and stuff like that, you know. And it just went left. Okay, so I guess they're gonna get into that. And we already know Toya and Heavenly always had an up and down relationship, but Heavenly has an up and down relationship with everybody, so that's that. uh then we get into Simone and Cecil. You know, they just talking about the fact that people keep saying that they're empty nesters now because Michael is gone off to college. Miles is mostly, you know, going to work, so he's rarely ever in the house. And, you know, they don't want to be called that, especially Cecil. You know, Cecil gives us some information about him, about how when he was graduating from college, he still stayed in the above apartment over his family's garage. And, you know, Simone let it be known that his mama was still cooking for him, still cleaning his clothes and cleaning up behind him and all that stuff. And if Simone hadn't came around, or, you know, he hadn't found a girlfriend or a wife or whatever, he probably still be living in the house. And it'd be like that. And especially in this economy, I wouldn't shame nobody who's still living at home. You know, and so I do feel like when these parents put these kids out at 18 years old, like, you're 18 years old, you're not ready to, you know, you're barely a fucking adult, okay? Legally speaking, you're an adult, but mentally you're still a goddamn child. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, it's to each his own. I don't shun nobody, look down on nobody who does that. It is what it is. We don't know the circumstances, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, they was just talking about it, and they just haven't. I like when Simone and Cecil have these conversations, because it comes, you know, I go back to when a couple of other seasons ago when they were on the verge of divorce, and I did not like seeing them like that. I love seeing them having these heart-to-heart conversations about their family and about job and stuff like that. And they get to talking about how their dog Sam passed away, and how people can be with their dogs and their pets and stuff, and they get attached, so they become just like family. They come like another child. And he was just saying, if I was having a bad day, if nobody else was going to talk to me, I know that Sam was going to come in and make me feel like I was his superhero and stuff like that. When Simone was like, well, I could be there for you. I cut back on charting and stuff like that, so we can do the damn thing. And that's what he needed. So, Simone was being a good wife in that moment. That was cute to me. That was cute to me. Rest in peace, Sam. Uh, so Heavenly and her son, Zachary, they're on their way to go see a house to flip or whatever, and she's trying to give him, you gotta have your poker face on, you gotta be able to haggle these people or whatever. Don't let them seem like you're so interested or whatever, so that they can get over on you. Heavenly, she said she flipped at least 12 properties before, so that's why she's coming along. I think he do got his real estate license and stuff like that, and it's a good thing that she did come along, because he was standing there like, yeah, I like this, I like that. He wasn't asking the questions that Heavenly was asking, okay? He is very much a newbie on this particular house, and at first it seemed like Heavenly didn't really like it, but then she was like, after looking at it and it being on a lake, she was interested in actually not necessarily flipping the house, but, buying the house and then renting it out, which could be a good idea. Make a little bit of money off of that as well, and continue to make money off of that. So she was in for that, and she was a little upset at first because the budget, I think, was $100,000, and the realtor, he was saying that it was like $4,000 some dollars or something like that, and she was like, "Now I done told you what the budget is. Why would you come and bring me to a house that it is over like 4 times the budget? Like, come on." But they want to put an offer in, and she said they needed to reduce the price, but the realtor was saying, well, if you want to do all that, I just want to let you know that we do have somebody that has an offer in already, and it's an aggressive offer. So you need to hurry up and get your offer in and see if it'll compete with that. So, we'll see how that works. Earlier, what I forgot to say was when Tori was over there with Lisa Nicole, Dr. Jackie had called her, and that's how they got into the whole situation with the Heavenly and Quad and all that stuff. Dr. Jackie had called her and invited both of them to her self-love party, and Tori just wanted her to keep her away from Heavenly and them, okay? She was like, we'll be all good. So Dr. Jackie is over there, getting her party together. It looks real nice or whatever. So all the ladies are showing up. We see Lisa Nicole. We see Contessa. She's feeling better. Simone. It's nice to see that Simone and Dr. Jackie are somewhat interacting with each other. Quad shows up, and I was surprised because I guess Lisa Nicole and Quad didn't got over their issues, because we remember earlier season when Lisa Nicole and Quad got into that fight when one was being accused of being a lesbian and one was being accused of being this and all that stuff, and they got into that fight, bitch. Girl, yes, that was a time. That was when Married to Medicine was at its height. Goodness, bitch. But anyway, so they are having a good time and talking about stuff, and first of all, when Dr. Heavenly came in and saw the pillows that said less sex, here she go. Now what the heck is going on here? Jackie be up into some stuff. Now she know I'm a Christian woman. I'm classy. I don't do all that. I said Christians have sex too, okay? And they had nasty sex as well, all right? That's why be so much scandal going on in the church, bitch. Okay, we human. Moving on from that. Speaking of sex, so she has her scrub nurse. Her name is Niecy, or Shanice or something like that. I think it's Shanice, okay? She's a scrub nurse. She says she's a scrub nurse by day, but she has a master degree in self-love by night, okay? Niecy came up there and said, my government name is Shanice, my nickname is Niecy, and my video name is Pleasure, okay? And at this point, Quad was like, all right, girl, Pleasure? What type of video? She said, because it sounded like some porn or something. porn. I said, oh shit. You know, Dr. Jackie just don't. Dr. Jackie has that type of look that just be like, you would think she'd be so uptight, especially after all the stuff that we just seen about her, and she can be uptight, but she'll just throw a little monkey wrench, and you'll be like, bitch, what? I didn't know you was up into that. I mean, you do play into vaginas, so hell, I mean, hey, let's get it on. They was like, wait a minute, bitch, hold on, what is this? And my ears perked up. I said, don't act like y'all don't watch porn, okay? Let's stop it. Heavily gonna say, well, Curtis do look, you know, Dr. Jackie, she the one up to being a little freak or whatever. Um, Curtis do look a little bit happy or whatever, probably doing some stuff to keep her man. She could, girl, I said, you know, she said she probably learned her lesson or some shit like that, and then gonna say, you know what, maybe I went too far. That's just like when she said, when she was looking at the house, she said, maybe I'll buy Toya house. Did I go too far? Girl, you know exactly what you're doing, okay? Anyway, moving on from that. So, you know, Niecy get up there talking about the porn industry and how you know, because I think Quad or somebody said, is it true that women get paid? That's like one of the only industries where women get paid more than the men. And she confirmed that. She said, yes, listen, that's one thing that I'm not gonna compromise on, okay? You're not gonna get up here, bitch, is that a shadow? That's a shadow. I'm about to say, I know my neck ain't discolored. Okay, that's just the lighting. You're not gonna get up here and, you know, make me settle for less or whatever for what I'm doing up on the screen and all that stuff. And I said, I know that's right. They get into talking about self-pleasure, of course. Quiet talking about how, you know, she masturbates all the time and, you know, it's good for the skin, whatever. Like, masturbation is great, okay? No haggle, no hassle. You ain't got to deal with nobody else when you don't want to deal with nobody else, okay? I'm just saying. Moving on from that, okay? We grown. Moving on from that, and don't act like you don't do it. Everybody is just there and they get to talking. At one point in time, they start talking about, you know, what type of penis size they like. Do they like the hook in there? Of course, Dr. Jackie had to come in there and give us the medical terminology for what that hook in the penis is. And, you know, I almost made it sound like it was a deformation, a deformity or whatever. And, you know, of course, Quiet was going off about how everybody like a little hook or whatever. That hook hit the G spot and all that stuff. Call me Captain Hook or whatever. I said, come on, Meg Thee Stallion. But it was cute. They was having a good time. They was vibing. And then I think it was Lisa Nicole that brought it up and was like, Heavenly, what is the issue between you and Toya? Cause you went kind of hard, you know, in that Zoom call. Because they brought up and was asking, because Quad the one that asked the question in the Zoom, what was the falling out between her and Toya, you know, and she was like, you know, she don't like, either she said she like talking about people when they not there, some shit like that, or whatever. She just don't like Toya. She be stupid and stuff like that. It is what it is. You know, Heavenly and Toya, they are off and on, off and on. But Heavenly is like that with all of her people, okay? One day she like you, one day, you know, I guess that's her way of showing love. But it's weird. Like, even with her friends, she shakes the hell out of them. Like, it's cute here and there, but not all the time. People get tired of that shit, okay? And Toya pops up. Mind you, earlier, Anila was talking to Simone, and she was feeling some type of way because she said, you know, it's getting back to her that Toya has been talking shit about her and to the tennis folks, the people around the neighborhood or whatever. Not to Toya's friends here in this group, but around their neighborhood. And if that is true, that's messed up. You gonna talk about me to the people that live on my goddamn block, okay, that I be kicking it with too. I'm trying to get to know, and you talking about me and you in my face or whatever, making it seem like everything cool. So when Toya do show up, of course, she don't really say nothing to Quiet. Quiet notices it or whatever. And I was like, you know, why do y'all be expecting people to say something to y'all when y'all don't get along, okay? And you know that there is an error or some type of issue that's between y'all, but y'all be acting kind of, you know, oblivious. Next thing you know, she goes sit down next to Anila and she's talking to Anila. Anila is not giving her the hey girl, how you doing, bitch? I miss you. Oh, you finally here. She not giving her that hypeness. So she was like, girl, you seem a little down. She was like, I mean, I just got word or whatever that you was out here talking about me. Girl, what are you talking about? You sound stupid right about now. Like, you sound silly. What is happening? And I was like, see, there it is right there, girl. She was like, you talking to me about people that I don't even know. I'm trying to get to know, and that's really hurtful. Girl, you sound crazy right now. I said, Toya, you sound a little guilty right now. I don't know. So, at this party, Anila brings up, the whole situation, and of course, Toya is very dismissive about it, and Anila captures on it. She basically was going around telling people about the whole situation that was happening with the makeup artist and him not being paid on time and stuff like that. And of course, Toya's like, I'm not talking about you, and if you telling me this and all that stuff. And Anila's like, if you got something to tell me, just tell me to my face, and you up there talking about that I'm dingy and all this stuff. It was like, yeah, you're dingy. We're dingy sometimes. It is what it is. Okay, so it to an outside ear. And you know what? I'm not even kind of mad at Toya for having the attitude that she was having with this discussion, because if we are friends and if I did wrong, pull me to the side or call me up and let us have a one-on-one conversation, a private conversation, not at an event, not at somebody's, party that's about self-love or anything that they're putting together, trying to get the ladies to be okay with each other, because it could have went either direction. You know what I'm saying? It could have got a little bit more explosive if Toya was in that mind frame. She wasn't trying to go there. We can clearly see that. And, just because they overheard what was going on too. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me get that off. They overheard what was going on and all that stuff. And they was thinking that somebody going to go over there and break it up. Well, nobody finna break that up. And, I get Anila wanted to talk to her about it, but maybe choose a different situation, a different location, or a different time. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring it up at somebody's event, all right? Because we don't want no drama, especially Dr. Jackie trying to get y'all to love y'allself and y'all finna have an argument. So that's why Toya gave that dismissive ass, apology to just shut the thing down, okay? And so we bring Niecy back on and talking about, how they want to pleasure themselves and how they want their sex and stuff like that. And, at 20, you don't know no better. You just open up your legs to this. At 30, you this. And at 40, you really want to get it in and all that stuff. And woo, woo, woo. You know yourself and blah, blah, blah. Okay. Put down what you rate yourself in sex. Okay. Heavenly, she rated herself a 5. Quad was like, for somebody that always talking about sex and stuff, you being a 5, that goes to show that you ain't having as much sex as you claim that you are. Bitch, is my face breaking out? The fuck is that? That look red? Girl, okay. But anyway, she got a gift. It was like this dog bone bondage thing. Put it in her mouth, and Hun Choir was playing with it or whatever. She tightened it up and was like, you got to be nicer to your friends, and spanking her on her butt. It was nice. It was cool. They was having a good fun time. Dr. Jackie rated herself a 7. And, Simone said, you rating yourself a 7, bitch. You is 2 at sex, okay? But she got this little vibrating tongue situation thing. Simone, she got a bell because she rated herself a 7 too, or something like that. And who else? Quad rated herself an 8 or something like that. I forget what she got, but I do know that Contessa was one of the only ones that rated themselves a 10, and she got tied up and all that stuff. And Heavenly said, I'm looking at Contessa like she a beautiful woman. Now I go back and forth between Contessa and Toya. Like, which one would I have want? Toya look like she real good at sex, but you would want somebody to actually talk to afterwards. Toya the type of bitch that'll just go and try to go shopping afterwards or some shit like that. Nah, I was like, see, this is why y'all don't get along. She just can't help herself. It's funny sometimes, but sometimes it's just a bit much. But, all in all, they had a good time. Toya, on the other hand, because Lisa Nicole came up to her after everything was done and was like, what was all that about? And she was like, some shit that we could have talked about later. Like, you're my friend, we're not supposed to do that. But if you a friend, friends don't talk about friends behind their backs like that. Or we shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? So I see both sides and I get both sides of the frustration. Um, and they wanted to do a group picture, and Toya's just, she just had it. She's like, I'm tired of arguing with people in group in the friend group. She don't want to do it anymore. So at this point, she damn near about to remove herself. I said, I get it. I get it. So Quiet goes over there to Heavenly's place. Embarrassing the hell out of Laura because she's coming into her womanness, bodily shaped and everything. But anyway, so they sit down and they just start talking about Toya. Now y'all know, like I crack a joke on Toya or whatever and call her out about this and call her out about that. But at this point, is she really bothering anybody? I don't get why they just start talking about it like, her finances. And so what if she's getting into it with Anila? It's none of your business. But I mean, I guess they overheard some stuff. Oh, she talking about the girl broke. Oh, now she's smelling herself because she finally got herself out of financial trouble. She got her house or whatever. Did you have to steal to get your house? Did you know your FICO score? Do you know this and all this stuff and all this shit? I'm sitting here like, where's all this coming from? It was a lot. And I didn't like it. I did not like it. But I said, y'all too grown to be sitting here talking about another person. Like, why do you care? Why do you care? Unless it's something that I'm being missed, why do you care? Anyway, that was Married to Medicine. Really wasn't much this episode once again. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll see y'all later. About to go watch Pose. Peace.